Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and Christmas has come early this year. Globalist scumbag David Rockefeller has died at the age of 101. 101 years too late if you ask me. We're going to go over a bunch of reasons why we will not miss David Rockefeller. So let's start off with the fact that he was the head of Chase Manhattan. Not much has to be added there. He has also advised every president since President Eisenhower. And we have certainly seen his mark on all of those presidents. President Nixon is on tape several times talking about how he has to always answer to David Rockefeller and how sick of it he is. But these presidents don't get to be actual presidents. They don't get to actually lead. They are told what to do by the top globalist elites, like David Rockefeller and, of course, Jacob de Rothschild. He was the only serving member of the advisory board at the Bilderberg Group, something that we have talked about many times here at WHAM. It's a secretive group with some of the top, most powerful people in the world, from the banking elite to the political elite, etc., etc., etc. And they get together in private and discuss what they're going to do with us next. Of course, if you check our channel, we have confronted a few Bilderberg members in the past. Now, moving on, he was a member, of course, of the Bohemian Grove, which, of course, proves that he was clearly a devil worshipper, hailing Moloch at the cremation of care ceremony, though that's not surprising. I know that sounds crazy to those who aren't aware of it. Just look into it. There is even video footage of the cremation of care ceremony, and some of the top political elite, banker elites, have gone to Bohemian Grove, only males allowed, and they dance around in the woods, hailing down a giant statue of Moloch. They even burn effigies of children, so that gives you a good idea of how messed up in the head these people are. He was, of course, a high-ranking member of the Council on Foreign Relations, or CFR, which shows how entrenched he was in the military-industrial complex. He was involved in Operation Condor, which killed hundreds of thousands of people in Chile and Argentina. No surprise to anyone, he was, of course, tied into the global central banking racket. I mean, his previous family members were, of course, involved in the creation of the Federal Reserve. He was an early supporter and helped in creating the United Nations, which says enough right there. Totally involved in globalist coercion against free individuals, creating a global government. He was a huge proponent of population control and depopulating as many people on Earth as he possibly can. He was massively involved in global pharmaceutical rackets, which ties into our previous point. And he openly admitted to conspiring against the people, which I can show you right here in his memoirs on page 405. He says, and I quote, "For more than a century, ideological extremists at either end of the political spectrum have seized upon well-publicized incidents such as my encounter with Castro to attack the Rockefeller family for the inordinate influence they claim we wield over American political and economic institutions. Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interest of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty, and I am proud of it." Now, of course, there are countless other examples of horrific crimes he was involved in. And, of course, if hell exists, well, David Rockefeller is going to have a hell of a time over the next eternity. As Dan Dix of Press for Truth writes on Facebook, David Rockefeller is currently weeping and gnashing his teeth. He now knows he was used as a pawn, and in the end his wealth meant nothing, and that is so very true. Now let's remember that the story isn't over for us. Regardless of David Rockefeller's death, his son takes over and the globalist cartels continue to ravage the earth like a plague, destroy lives, and plot out our demise. Meanwhile, Rockefeller is small potatoes compared to the power the Rothschild family yields. It is up to us to call these disgusting monsters out and prevail as free, voluntary, liberty-minded individuals. So celebrate today, and tomorrow we continue to stand up for individualism versus collectivist coercion, desecrating our remaining free will. Thanks for watching, everyone. Check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We can't do it without you. Any donation is very much appreciated. And of course, check our link in the description for Bitcoin, which we will put up on the screen as well. But until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.